it is I, the lesser spotted Retro Bear, welcoming you back to the pantry for a new video. First time in about 3 weeks I've done a video. I bet you've missed me, haven't you? Hope you're all well. Nice to be speaking to you once again. It's very warm today. Well, I can't keep this going for too much long. We'll have to see. But yeah, hope you're all well and enjoying the summer as we are now into the officially summertime. Right, so what have we got for you today? Well, bits and pieces really. That's all I can elaborate on. Just a few odds and sods here and there, updating you as to what's been going on, what may be going on, what's probably coming up. So yeah, if it rambles a little bit like it does, well, you know the score by now anyway. So we're going to talk about, we've got new Fall Guys, which I'm going to talk about a bit later. Obviously been doing the old podcast as well. What's been going on in my world. Couple of things to show you as well, which is good. Not many, don't get too excited, but there's a couple of stories behind them. And yeah, just a few things here and there really. So yeah, as we said, it's been pretty quiet recently. Month of June's not been great because we had that real momentum doing the PlayStation month, and then it's sort of fallen a bit by the wayside. I'm not picking things up as I used to. In fact, I think I went last time I did a pickups video was after I'd been out with my good mate John, and then I haven't been out. I've been out once since. I tell a lie, once since, and that was a waste of time. It usually is nowadays. It's not really one of those videos where I just moan about the fact that there's nothing out there, because I accept there's nothing out there now. I'm just carrying on doing what I do. So if I don't pick anything up, I'm not really that bothered. Because I'm not spending money on that. But at the same time, if I see something I like, then it'll be nice to come across that. But even then, there's nothing there. I think the last time I went out, I went into a cash converters, and I thought, oh, do you know what? There's some decent games here. I was looking for Xbox One stuff particularly, which will lead me on to my next thing. And I just don't know, I just couldn't really sort of justify putting my hand in my pocket, which, let's be honest with you, is a very rare thing indeed. But I just really couldn't justify, buying something for the sake of it. Don't want the Xbox One to become where I just buy random crap like I usually do. I just wanted it to become a case where I buy some games that I want to play. There were a couple I wanted to play, but I thought, yeah, if I buy that, am I going to sit down and play it? No. Have I used the Xbox One much since I bought it? No. So I didn't bother. But that's not to say that I won't in the future. But at the moment, I just didn't feel it. I'm just not feeling the old collecting vibe at the moment. It's strange. Whether it's because I played all those games for a month, I don't know. Thank you. Roller call for that, but I enjoyed doing that, and I've been playing a lot of modern games. People were very, very surprised to see me playing things like Dirt 5 and Snoopy's Great Adventure and Fall Guys and FIFA 22 and things like that, modern games which you don't usually associate with. So anyway, that's that. So a couple of things I picked up. Here's an interesting story for Mrs. Bear. Has been repairing stuff left, right and centre at the moment. Many a day I've come home from work and she's in the workshop, or stroke front room as it usually is known, which is now known as pretty much the workshop, and she's been slaving away over an Amstrad or a Spectrum or a Master System 2 or anything else she's been picking up, and there's stuff that she's bought she hasn't worked on yet, but she's doing great stuff, and she's moving a few of these on as well, which is good. I keep saying that we must do a proper video with the stuff that she's doing, because she spends a lot of time doing that, and she's moving things on, and we had she had a conversation with somebody about potentially doing a lot more of these things. So very exciting time for her. She's enjoying it. So anyway, she's been repairing things, and occasionally she'll need to test them, so she raids my collection. So he picks out the odd Spectrum game or whatever, and I said, look, there's some Spectrum games that I can't get rid of, can't move on. Incidentally, if anybody can get in contact with Alex Nintendo Arcade, I've still got a Paperboy here for him. And don't worry, I'm going to replace the box. I've still got a paper boy for him, so anybody can get in contact with Alex, getting in contact with me. I've still got this here for him from, I think, Swap Shop in April when I was last on there. So no, she's been testing stuff, and she takes a game out. I try and give her a game. She has to take one out of my collection. Try and give her one that, if it, very common game, it's not going to be too expensive to replace. So I'll give her some Spectrum games to test, which she's done. When it comes to the Amstrad, I haven't got anything like that. So I've got stuff mostly I've either had traded to me or I've bought since. And I haven't got like the Amsoft title, Bridget and then Animal, Vegetable, Mineral. I haven't got anything like that. All my games are either budget titles, but good budget titles, or proper full price releases. And there's always a danger that something can happen. Well, guess what happened? She tested an Amstrad and it chewed one of my tapes up. That's disappointing. Well, even more disappointing was the fact that it was well, I say a good game. It's meant to be a good game, I think. She said she's played it and doesn't think it's very good at all. So I said, I'll have to replace it for you. He said, okay, so I'll have a look on eBay. So I went on eBay. And turns out that the last copy of this game, I think, that was on the Amstrad, sold for about 15 quid at the end of March. I was like, oh, it's going to cost you a few quid. And I think there was one copy on eBay at the time, and it was listed for about 20 quid. Managed to knock him down a little bit. So Mrs. Bear has had to replace, and this is one of the very few, maybe about, in terms of the retro side of my collection, probably about the fourth or fifth thing she's actually bought me for a couple of games for Christmas last year. So Mrs. Bear had to replace my copy of Turbo the Toy Toys. Yeah, pretty quality budget title, that one. Yeah, 94% from your Sinclair, so I know the Spectrum version is quite good, but I'm pretty sure the Amstrad version is not too bad. I've got to say, it's a belting copy. It really is a nice condition box. It's got the right pinholes on the back. There's holes there where they're for the tape to go in. I say it's not the right one actually, because there should be pinholes on that, shouldn't there? But it's not damaged at all anyway. The inlay case is quite nice. People might want to look at the tape. There you go. So there we go. But yes, yeah, so she was trying everything to move the tape on, but I think it had basically chewed it up and it had damaged it anyway. So she's had to replace that for me. But thank you for that, love. That was nice of you to do so. I'll say she's actually now bought herself one of these cover tapes. So she's got a tape to test it with, and she's going to use my game. But anyway, now the other thing that I did get, this is going back to the Xbox One, which led quite nicely into something I was talking about 5 minutes ago. And these were got off somebody at work, and they said, do you want these? I was like, yeah, I'll have those. So we worked something out, and they're great, and they work absolutely perfect. I've got to do this one. I've got to do with them. I've got to replace something on them. But I've managed to acquire a pair of these, which is massive headsets. The A50 wireless Astro headset, which I think is meant to be very, very good. And I got this at an absolute bargain price. So we've tried them. These are actually for this, but they also work with PC as well. So we've tried them on the PC, and they work beautifully. The only thing I've got to replace is the inner ear protectors. You can get those on eBay for about 15 quid, I think. So I've got to replace those. But yeah, really comfortable to wear. It's got this microphone here, which if you drop it down and put it back up again, it turns on and off. Can I get it out of the box without sort of damaging everything? I'll try. No, I probably can't, can I? Can't, but I tell you, it comes in. Comes in a box, in a double-sized box, as you can see. I'll just show you the back of the box. But I don't want to get them out because I won't be able to get them back again. It was a pain in the arse getting them out in the first place. Very, very Star Wars, but there you go. It's like really good-looking headset, that one there. So all I need now is to use it and play it with the game. I'm trying to get with the camera there. Well, I need to now use it and play it with the game or something. But now Fall Guys has started. I may well start playing on the Xbox One. But yeah, so that was brilliant. I mean, compared to the headset I got for the PlayStation 4, which is very my call centre headset, but with big cans on your ears. This one is like it's sort of like the thing they use on Sky Sports. I'm pretty sure it is. It's that sort of headset. But yeah, I mean that's just great. So I was absolutely thrilled to have that for an absolute bargain. And like I said, you know, it is Xbox One, it is Windows, and it is Mac compatible. And I think there's a PlayStation 4 only version of it as well. So that was really great to have that come in. So I shall have to try and use it now, won't I? Yeah. I've got those now. I'm going to have to use it properly, which is good because that leads me on to Fall Guys. And for those of you who regularly watch this channel, occasionally I'll be streaming Fall Guys on say a Friday when Big Game Al can't do it. Otherwise, he does it on his channel. And yesterday, which was I'm doing the Wednesday, it's the Tuesday, 21st. Fall Guys went from being PC and PlayStation 4 to complete cross-platform. So anybody with an Xbox One, Series S/X, whatever they're called, and the Switch can now get Fall Guys, I think, for free. Because obviously I have the PlayStation subscription, so I got my Fall Guys at free with that as such, but I had to subscribe to PlayStation. So I think this has been open, but it's basically free for all. And of course, we were talking about this beforehand. We played on the Friday night beforehand, had a good session on my channel. By the way, if you did come along and play on Friday the 17th, thank you very much indeed. We had so many people, about nearly 20 people playing custom games, which we may have had once before. So that's great. Obviously, those numbers are just going to increase now. And it's our intention to do this every Friday, do a Fall Guys session every Friday on Al's channel or my channel, depending on who's available, whether Al's on strike or not. And because it's gone cross-platform now, there are more, so people can play. So we were talking about, well, do we do a stream on the Tuesday when the new servers are launched, when everything starts up again, because we might not get anything at all. And it was incredibly patchy. We couldn't play the custom games, which we like to do, so we were able to play the main game. Gavin, Snoopyman79 and Paul the Ink Northerner were joining me and Al playing that. Shame we couldn't play customs, but we were able to get to play the game and experience it. And yeah, there were so many new characters, so many new people running around with, you know, basic costumes on, because obviously Fall Guys, you can buy costumes, earn costumes as you go along. So a lot of people, you can see, had just started it. I know a few people who were using different. I know Paul, because Paul's got Xbox, he's already worked the Xbox out. I know James, It's Much More, was playing the Xbox One version today. And Mrs. Bear downloaded it on the Switch as well. So she will probably be able to join in the custom games, because we give a code out, you type the code in and it automatically. So hopefully that works, but unfortunately, because of the problem they had with the servers yesterday, and I think still today, custom games aren't turned on, so we'll have to see. But it's been brilliant fun, we've really enjoyed doing it, and we've got a little bit of momentum now. And people know that we are going live on a Friday. Even the banter in the chat is great, and the banter over the microphone, over the headsets, is great too. So if you are around on a Friday, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, one of those start times, depending on what's going on, it's either going to be on Al's channel or my channel. Come along and join us. Now Fall Guys is free for everybody. I mean, there's literally no excuse. If it's free, you should just download it and join in. You don't have to come on the headsets, you can just join in playing the game. I think Generation Pixel joined us on Friday as well. He pops in every now and again to play a few games with us as well. So get loads of different people from all now console owners can play that game. Unfortunately, for some reason, they took it off Steam. I think that was where it was available from. They took it off Steam. That's really strange. I don't know. But yeah, so look into that one. It's always good fun. And the last thing, that's the last thing. That's what I want to talk about is my NES. Yes, because my NES appears to have a problem with it. Mrs. Bear again. It's a Mrs. Bear video, this one, isn't it? Looking at my NES, looking at an NES she was repairing, and she hadn't got a power supply with it, so she came upstairs, took my power supply downstairs, and there's only 3 volts going through it. Which is really weird, because when I got my NES, it seemed to work absolutely fine, although it was a bit temperamental, which we put down to the cartridges of the cartridge slots. Luckily, I have the Retron 1, which is for the NES, and play upscales into HD, and will play import cartridges, although it does really like to grip your cartridges, and get very, very worried about that. So I might have to get an NES power supply. So that may have been the problem with my NES all along, so I've not used it. That's why I got the Retron 1, because for 20 quid I thought at the time, as a backup NES, it's perfect. But so we may have to look into doing that. But it was only generating 3 volts out of it, AC, I think she was saying. I don't really understand that sort of thing. So that was a bit worrying. So maybe it explains why my NES is temperamental. It may just be the fact it's got a crap power supply with it. I don't know. I know the plug on it's really old. It's the original plug, and I think that's pretty much. I think it's legal now anyway. I don't know. I've also downloaded the gaming app, GameEye, Gamey. I can't really know how to pronounce it, whether it's pronounced Gammy or GameEye. I don't know. I downloaded that. I've started to migrate some of my collection onto there, although at the moment I can't work out how to get it to connect between my tablet and my phone because they don't want to talk to each other. I've got a Samsung tablet which is relatively new and my Sony phone which is relatively ancient, and they just don't want to know, just don't want to talk to each other. So at the moment I'm going through my Excel spreadsheet on my phone, which I know isn't updated correctly, making sure that's updated correctly, and then going and entering all the information in onto GameEye on my tablet with the hope one day that I'll be able to get the two to talk together, and then I can transfer all that from there to there and actually have an update list, because I keep saying, I said this probably for about the past 6 to 8 months or so, my collection keeping has been terrible. It was brilliant to a point. It was absolutely like clockwork. I'd go out, I'd come back, I'd show Mrs. Bear what I bought, I'd then come up here, I'd then clean the discs, etc. If I was buying discs, mostly was the case back then, and then I'd go on my phone and I put everything to my spreadsheet and then I'd file stuff away. That was my process. If you go back to some of my really old videos, say about 2018, 2019, this is where that old tat sign come into it. There used to be a pile of games, sorry Basil, there used to be a pile of games there, all waiting to be catalogued, cleaned and then put on the shelf, and that's why I don't do that now. I sort of get everything straight away, but in more recent times, the case I've just been putting on the shelf out of the way, and I thought this can't carry on really. So I now got to go through everything, but in a way it's quite good because, you know, although I would say it's a foolproof method, it's probably good to do that and say I haven't missed anything. So one day we'll get round to it. But yeah, I mean, it's a great app. It is honestly great. I mean, it covers everything. It covers Atari 26. It does console games. It covers micros as well, 8-bit and 16-bit. I've tried a few cheeky, what I think are obscure titles, and it's got them on there. So it gives you a value as well. I'm not interested in what the value is. I don't really care about that. I just want places somewhere where everything is catalogued and safe, because it needs to be. It needs to be, really. So there's that. What else has been going on? Well, I've been doing a lot of the old TMB lately. If you've been joining us every other Sunday, or possibly 3 Sundays, or we've been moving around a little bit, but we move around a little bit so people can do what they want to do, and I'm quite happy to do that, and everybody else seems to be. Thank you again to the people who pop in on a Sunday, every other Sunday that we do it. We just done one this last week. Great to see so many people taking part. Great to have the guests on as well. We've got upcoming five coming up episodes. 3rd of July, 17th of July. We're looking for guests. The 30th of July, which is a Saturday, because there's something else on the Sunday, we've got a guest lined up for that one, so that's a special one-off Saturday one. And then we've got the 14th of August, and then the 29th of August, because there's something on the 28th. But the 29th of August is the Bank Holiday Monday, so that's a bit different. So 4 dates there: 3rd of July, 17th of July, 14th of August, 29th of August. If you do fancy being a guest, coming on, talk about what you want to talk about. It's your show. I host it. The TMB lads come on. But it's your subject, we bring you in to talk about your subject. If you are interested in coming on, drop me a line. Please do. Don't wait for me to ask you. I know it's a nice way for people to be asked to come on, but and perhaps I should be a bit more proactive on that point. But, if it's something you want to do, something you want to come and talk about, get in contact. If you go back and watch our episode from a couple of weeks ago when John Bunday was on, most people won't know who John is. But he was absolutely fantastic. He got in contact. He said, yeah, how about doing this? And I said, great, we'll have you on, John. And he was absolutely fantastic. And he'd never done a live stream before. He was brilliant. He really was. Spoke incredibly well, very knowledgeably. The podcast before that, we had 8-Bit Rage and Joe Gaming Girly on. I know Rach had done a stream with Nerdy Geezer on the Micromaniacs a couple of weeks beforehand, but Joe and her had done a live stream as well, and they were both brilliant. It was superb, and we shall have them back on again. So yeah, don't worry about it. When you've got 5 subscribers, 50 subscribers, nobody following you, come on, 50,000 subscribers, 5 million subscribers, come on and talk about stuff. Just come and join it. 5 of us talking about games, and 20 on 25, 30 people in the chat watching and listening and contributing as well. It's a great way to pass the time. I can't sell it any better. Can I sell it any better than that? Yeah, I'm not going to pay you for coming on. That probably would sell it, wouldn't it? No, I'm not going to pay you for coming on. Just come and join the fun, and go back and watch a couple of the episodes in the last sort of 6-12 months when we started doing the streams on the Sunday. It's about the most relaxed, laid back place you could possibly have. There's no script, there's no planning in advance. All I say is play a few games before you come on, talk about them when you turn up, and then bring your subject of the week, and then we'll talk about it. And that's what it is. We do a couple of hours. It is great, and it's good to do. There's a couple of things I'm working on with a couple of the lads as well, some other YouTubers I've spoken about with a couple of projects. So they haven't materialised as yet, but they will do. Yes, I wouldn't call it a channel. Oh yes, and of course I've been dabbling a little bit in doing different videos. I did the Blu-ray collection video, which seems to have done rather well and went down very well indeed. And I will be doing the 3D follow-up. I will then move on to doing DVDs. I will then move on to doing my VHS, because a couple of weeks ago we moved our sofas round. People who have been to me recently and visited will know that there was one sofa by where the DVDs are. We've now swapped the sofas around. I mean, I can actually get to the VHS. It's great because it's buried down there. I can now get to the VHS. Thing is, if it comes out of there, it's likely to won't likely be able to go back. Not my choice. I don't know, but I'd like to do those as well. So there are, I'd like to do a few more of those different videos. Obviously, try and get back on the gaming stuff, but at the moment, it just, as you can see, this is one of those videos where I just sat here and talked for 20-25 minutes without really making any point. But there you go. Yeah, and I'd like to redo some of my collection videos. That's probably the other thing, that if I could do that, well, I'd like to redo my collection videos. If I can find my Game Boy stuff, which I think is in one of the bags in our bedroom somewhere. If I find the Game Boy stuff, I'll do that. I know a couple of people have asked me about that. And I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? Can't find it. I think it must be tucked away from the last time I went away anyway. It was about 3 years ago. So I'm going to find those. But yeah, there's things I want to do like that. And I redid the NES collection because I got more games to it from there. And it's been probably been over 3 years, nearly 3 years since I'd done the first one of those. So I've still got the PlayStation Wall to do. I've still got the original Xbox to do. There's lots of little things I could be doing. But at the moment, it's a busy time with work. And, I just sometimes I just don't feel it, So I've done this video just to prove I'm still alive. And I haven't forgotten about you. I hope you haven't forgotten about me. And if you have enjoyed this rambling video, which you didn't need to watch because you just listened to it, unless you want to see the headphones. But I've told you what the headphones are now, so you can sit there and look on the internet. I'll tell you what Turbo the Toy Tool is, so you can go and look on the internet. You know what an NES looks like. I should hope so, anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching. So I will see you all again very soon. Whether it's I'm talking to you on Fall Guys, whether I'm doing the old TMB, or whether I'm sat here talking complete dribble. It's always a pleasure. I'm glad that you've come back to watch that. I will see you all again very soon. It's getting warm in here, so I'm going to finish. Mind what you're doing. Take care. Be good, be safe, be kind to each other, and I'll talk to you again soon. Until then, bye-bye.